We're back here on the Sideline crowd. Skylar Timmons joining you as the Rockies are taking on the Minnesota Twins here at Target Field. As the Rockies are looking to complete the three-game sweep of this interleague matchup. So Rockies will look to take on Josh Donaldson and the rest of this offensive exploding team of the Minnesota Twins. Rockies will be facing Rich Hill, the former Dodger. Making his 16th start, he's 8-2 with a .283 ERA, 89 strikeouts, 40 walks, 120 whip, 63 hits allowed in 86 innings of work. The veteran has been a good pickup for the Twins this season. Add some stability to their starting pitching, as David Dahl will lead things off for the Rockies this afternoon. Hill winds and deals. And Dahl swinging, slow roller second. Got it is Luis Arias who throws out Dahl, so win pitch, one out. We got to look here at the Rockies. DH in play today. David Dahl leads things off in first base, and Daniel Murphy, Nolan Arenado batting third. Charlie Blackmon the DH today. Story batting fifth. McMahon at second batting sixth. Chris Owings starting left. Elias Diaz behind the dish. And new addition, Yasiel Puig, making the start in right field today for the Rockies. His debut with the team. Pitch misses outside, 0-1. Twins lead the division in the Central, 59-25. Very good start to their season. They're just dominating the American League Central. 0-1 to Murphy. This is down and in. Murphy hitting .400 over his last 4 games, riding a 9-game hitting streak. Bit of a hot streak for him as of late. Him and McMahon both hitting a stride as of late. Here's the 1-1 to Murphy. Catches the inside corner, 1-2. Got a lot to talk about today. It's been a busy week for baseball. Here's the 1-2 to Murphy. Flares this one out into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit down in front of Jake Cave. And so there's a one-out single for Daniel Murphy. Just gets the barrel of the bat to the ball. Soft the liner out into center field, and so man aboard for Nolan Arenado, who's had a hot month of June compared to May. In .299 this month, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Lost a bit of the power, but the batting average has been a little bit better. Very rough month of May for the Rockies. Here's the first pitch to Arenado. Takes called strike one. Hit into 11 double plays this season. Rough go of it for Arenado. He's had a hard time hitting the ball. 1-1 runs inside. Look at our umpiring crew. James Kingsley behind the plate today, calling balls and strikes. Miguel Sano holding Murphy at first. Here's the 1-1. That misses inside. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 to Arenado. Popped him up on the infield. Arias calls it and makes the catch. And there's 2 away. They'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. 385 average, 18 homers, 57 RBIs for the Rockies right fielder. 455 on base percentage. He has had a pretty good season. That's tied first in the National League. Blackmon among the top in a lot of offensive categories, especially here on the Rockies. This takes called strike one at the knees. So far, as of late, it's been Ryan McMahon providing the power for the Rockies. Rockies riding a 3-game winning streak. Won the final game against the Royals at home, and then they had the off day Thursday. Then they won games 1 and 2 of this series, Friday and Saturday. Looking for the sweep. Here's the 1-1 to Blackmon. And that misses outside, 2-1. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it off. Two-two to Blackman. Fouls off another one. Good job here by Blackman, getting quite a few pitches out of Rich Hill. And Blackman sends this one out deep to right field. Back goes the right fielder. And he's up against the wall to make the catch to end the inning. Jimmy Kerrigan running it down. Blackman gave it a ride, but just misses the home run thanks to that tall wall in right field. We head to the bottom of the first. No score here. Polanco, Cave, and Arias due up for the Twins. They will be facing Jameson Taillon. Making his 16th start. It's 5-4, 3.70 ERA, 53 strikeouts, 20 walks, 119 WHIP, 84 hits allowed in 87 2/3 innings between the Pirates and the Rockies. So, quick note here. Realistically, Taillon's not even supposed to pitch the 2020 season. He had to get Tommy John surgery last year. And so he's supposed to miss this entire season, but since his injury wasn't in play for this video game, basically, he is eligible to be pitching here, so that's why he's here. So there goes a little bit of the realism. Pitch misses outside, 1-0 to Jorge Polanco. Rockies 37-45. They're third in the National League West, still 11 games back of the first place team in the battle between the Dodgers and the Padres, but climbing their way back. Here's the 1-0 to Polanco. Called strike of the knees, 1-1. So it'll be Polanco, Jake Cave, and Luis Arias.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count.
Followed by Miguel Sano, Nelson Cruz, the DH, Eddie Rosario's in left, Josh Donaldson bats 7th, he's at 3rd, and then Jimmy Kerrigan in right field batting 8th with Alex Avila behind the plate. Shot over to second, McMahon's got it, and there's one away. Going to look here at that starting lineup. For the Twins, Josh Donaldson, their big free agent acquisition during the offseason, signed him to a 4-year deal after a fantastic comeback season with the Atlanta Braves. Signed a 1-year deal, and he became the hot commodity at third base during the offseason after Adrian Rendon. Adrian Rendon is a minor leaguer for the Angels. Anthony Rendon pitch misses in, 1-1 to Jake Cave. Cave in 389 his last 4 games. The 1-1 to Cave. And this one's shot into right field for a base hit. Puig fields it. He'll throw it in. And now they kind of replicate the same thing as the Rockies. 1 out base hit. I'll bring up Luis Arias will bat now with that 339 average. This is a very good hitting team. The Twins set a major league record for home runs by a single team in a season last year. One of the better teams. This one slapped into left field for a base hit. Fielding is Owings. He'll throw it in. Back-to-back singles here. And there's 2 men on with 1 out for Miguel Sano, the first baseman. Pitch high and away. Good pitch, but he throws the bat out, just slaps it the other way. So the Twins have a man in scoring position. Miguel Sano, 279 average, 20 homers on the year, 43 RBIs. 7th in the American League in third base all-star voting. It's typically their third baseman, and then with the signing of Josh Donaldson, he offered to move over to first for this season. Here's the 0-1 to Sano. Gets a piece of that fastball. Here's the 0-2 to Sano. Grounder to second. This could be 2. There's 1, and there's 2. Taillon gets the double play ball. We head to the top of the second. No score here. Story, McMahon, and Owings due up. Trevor Story will lead things off. 224 average. He's hit the long ball as of late. 13 homers, 39 RBIs for the Rockies shortstop. Still working on that average. That's kind of been the story all season. Pun intended.
Oh, that's kicked out.
The 1-0 to Story. Misses outside. 2-0. Called, strike at the knees. Here's the 2-1 to Story now. Gets a piece of that one, fouls off 2-2. Well, it's been a busy week for Rockies, or not just the Rockies, but Major League Baseball in general. As Story strikes out swinging, chases the fastball down and in for strikeout for Rich Hill. Got confirmation that baseball is coming back. We will have a 2020 season. Starts in about a month. Spring training starts next week. A lot of rule changes. We'll get to that and explain the roster rules and some of the other rules. As McMahon swings to that one. McMahon, it's up to 15 homers. Up to his average 264, 46 RBIs. Second baseman has been doing very well lately for the Rockies. The 0-1 to McMahon. Gets out of the way of that curveball, 1-1. Got a lot of things to talk about and have some fun as always. So in skied out to center field. In comes Cave. He'll make the catch. There's out number 2.
The left fielder, Rich Owings.
Chris Owings, the batter now. Getting the start out in left field with the lefty on the mound. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Owings. That misses 1-1. So we've had a few changes to this Rockies lineup. So Yasiel Puig, who was signed to a free agent deal earlier in the week, he was added to the 40-man roster. Called up prior to this road trip. Played a couple games in Albuquerque. Rockies wanted to get a right-handed bat in their lineup as Owings swings and misses at that big bender for out number 3. That is the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the inning. 5-6-7 duo for the Twins. Still no score. Talk about the roster a little bit more in a second. Nelson Cruz will lead things off. He's had a lot of success against right-handers this season. 281 average, 12 homers, 32 RBIs against righties. Oddly enough, he struggled against the left-handers. We'll see how Taillon fares against him as he gets him to swing through that fastball for strike 1. But the Rockies and Major League Baseball and, well, the Rockies. Here's the 0-1. Called strike there, 0-2. Rockies wanted that right-handed bat, so they got Puig. He played in Albuquerque for a little bit and then called him up. Prior to this game, Brendan Rodgers sent back down to AAA. Albuquerque. Wade Davis, who's designated for assignment, is cleared outright waivers. He's in Albuquerque. Scott Oberg back with the club. Someone's popped up foul territory. Over is Murphy. He'll make the catch. And there's out number 1. Good job there getting Cruz to pop out. Here's how the Rockies line up defensively. Owings, David Dahl, and Yasiel Puig is in right field. Infield, Arenado, Story, McMahon, Murphy with Diaz behind the plate. Rockies 5th in the National League in fielding percentage. They have done quite well in that category. They've improved defensively. Eddie Rosario, the left fielder, stands in. He's been having a good year. Here's the 1-0 from Tyone. Misses inside. 2-0. You look up and down this Twins lineup, a lot of high averages, a lot of home runs, RBIs. Sends this one deep to center field, but got under it. Dahl ranges back. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Josh Donaldson, 11-game hitting streak, 301 average, 27 homers, 65 RBIs. I believe he leads the American League in home runs with that 27. Like I said, a comeback year last year for him. After some good years in Oakland, then he got sent over to the Blue Jays, won the MVP in Toronto, then kind of struggled in 2018. Was then traded to the Indians mid-season, the deadline. And then as a free agent signed a 1-year deal with the Braves. The highest single-year contract. Bouncer to third. Arenado backhands it, but it's foul. 1-2. Then just had a spectacular year with the Braves. Grounded back up the middle. McMahon's got it, playing in the shift. He'll throw him out to win the inning. Twins go down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the third. No score here. Diaz, Puig, and Dahl do up for the Rockies. Elias Diaz will lead things off. Diaz with that 260 average, 2 homers, 9 RBIs on the year. Just kind of been a solid foil to Tony Wolters in the platoon situation behind the plate. First pitch in there for a called strike from Hill. Pitch misses down, 1-1. Pops it up on the infield. Donaldson moves over a little bit. He'll make the catch.
Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 66, Yasiel Puig.
I'll bring up Yasiel Puig making his Rockies debut. Pitch misses inside. This was a debunked rumor that happened during back in about February or March or so. Puig, who as of this recording of this stream still hasn't signed a deal, as he's still hoping for an MLB club. He had interest from the Korean Baseball League, but he was held out hoping for a big league deal, which is interesting. Even more so now because his services could be more in tow or more in demand as with the universal DH that's been implemented for the 60-game season. So he sends this one out to deep right field, but makes the catch for round number 2. Long run for him, but Puig's retired. But his services could be more in demand as National League teams will be looking for that DH. And he provides a right-handed power bat. Filling as a DH and other things as needed. Here's the first pitch to David Dahl. Misses, ball 1. Rich Hill's kind of cruised through this lineup first time around, only allowing 1 hit. The 1-0 to Dahl. Misses outside. 2-0.
Count is 3-1.
Here's the 3-1.
3-2.
Big swing and a miss there. That'll run the count full on Dahl. Sorry if I'm kind of quiet. I've been looking at things of Rich Hill's career.
Ball 4.
He has been around for quite a bit, but Dahl draws ball 4. Draws the walk. Missing with that big 12-6 curveball. Now we're going to have Daniel Murphy, the lone hit for the Rockies. First time through the lineup. So Dahl at first. Murphy up to the plate. First pitch swing and went back with that curveball. Misses. 0-1. Rich Hill, 40 years old.
1-1.
Played with the Cubs from 05 to 08. Was with the Orioles 2009, Red Sox 2010 to 2012.
I got 2-1.
Indians in 2013, Angels in 2014, Yankees 2014, Red Sox in 2015, Oakland A's in 2016, and then the Dodgers, or was with the Dodgers from 2016 to 2019. So he's been around quite a bit. Played a little bit in the Independent League with the Long Island Ducks. Had a little bit of stint with the Nationals. And a minor league deal. Signed a lot of minor league deals. So he's been around quite a bit. It's perseverance.
3-2.
Swing and a miss there. 3-2 on Murphy. He's also the only pitcher in Major League history to have a no-hitter broken up in extra innings by a walk-off home run. He's the only pitcher in Major League history to have had a perfect game broken up by a ninth-inning fielding error. 3-2 to Murphy. Lined into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Dahl, who didn't stop, will get to third. And once again, Murphy just bloops one into center in front of Jake Cave. Cave had a little bit better chance to catch this one, but plays it off the hop. So men on the corners, 2 outs for Nolan Arenado. Rockies with their best scoring chance so far. In fact, it's their only scoring chance so far. Men on the corners, 2 outs, 1-0 now the count on Nolan Arenado. Hill kicks and delivers. Catches the outside corner and 1-1. 23 pitches this inning for Hill. Down and away, 2-1. Rich Hill he was drafted 3 times before signing in 2002. And then he's just kicked around the league quite a bit. Two-1 to Arenado. Sends this one into the gap in right center field. That's going to score Dahl. Murphy chugging. And he will get the stop sign at third base. And that's an RBI double for Nolan Arenado. His 19th double of the year, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Pitch down and away. Arenado sticks with it. And will just shoot it into the gap the other way. So there's 2 men in scoring position now with 2 outs for Charlie Blackmon. Hit the ball all the way to the fence his first time around. But the right fielder, Kerrigan, was able to track it down, catch it at the base of the wall. Here's the 0-1 to Blackmon. Big swing and a miss there. 0-2. I remember hearing about in the time, I believe it was 2017, that Rich Hill took that no-hitter against the Pirates into extra innings. This one skied out to center over his Cave. He'll make the catch and end the inning. Or retire the side, but Nolan Arenado, RBI double. with 2 outs. Gives the Rockies a 1-0 lead way to the bottom of the third. There's old Heidi Watney talking about something. Here's how the Twins have been doing with their hitting stats. Like I said, a lot of top ranks among everything. They're third in runs per game with 5 1/3, 285 team average. That's first. League second in on base, second in slugging, first in home runs with 129 in the American League. They don't steal bases that much, but still see a lot of these guys with a lot of home runs. Jimmy Kerrigan, the right fielder, will lead things off against Jamison Taillon. Taillon gets ahead of him 0-1. Kerrigan was the May Rookie of the Month. The Rockies traded for Taillon from the Pirates. Didn't send much. Drew Butera, a couple of minor leaguers. Send him over for Taillon. Here's the 2-2 to Kerrigan. Fouls that one back 2-2. Well, it's the third inning. I'll do it probably in the fourth or when I get to it in a second. This day in Rockies history. I'm all sorts of mixed up at the moment. Haven't done this for a little while. 2-2 to Kerrigan. That runs inside, almost hits him. 3-2. Alex Avila waits on deck. Well, this day in Rockies history, we're going back to June 28th, 2005. Rockies hosting the Astros. This one's sent out to center field. Dahl's there to make the catch. One away. I'll bring up Alex Avila, the catcher. 272 average, 6 homers, 21 RBIs for the left-handed hitting catcher. He was one of the targets for the Rockies. That was time with the Tigers. I believe he was with the Cubs, and then he signed with the Diamondbacks last season, and then it's with the Twins now. Here's the 2-0 to Avila. Misses low, 3-0. But back in 2005, the Rockies taking on the Astros at home, beating the Astros 6-5. Rockies scoring 5 in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead. And then they get the save in the bottom of the top of the 5th, or get the save in the top of the 9th. Jorge Polanco, the shortstop, will bat now. Runner at first. So Roger Clemens taking on Jason Jennings in that game. Clemens goes 7 innings, gives up 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 7. Jennings only going 6, giving up 5 runs. But then it was the combination of Chad Qualls, John Franco, and Russ Springer who gave up the 5 runs. Runner takes out for second. Hit and run action, but Polanco fouls it off. Avila will have to retreat back. The 1-1 to Polanco. Down and away. 2-1. So the Rockies get into the Astros bullpen in that game. 2-1 to Polanco. Shoots this one off. 2-2. Corey Sullivan had a base to Aaron Miles in that game for the Rockies. Then you had Todd Helton, Preston Wilson in center field, Garrett Atkins, then Jorge Piedra, then Desi Relaford, Danny Arden, and then Jason Jennings as Polanco strikes out swinging. So Garrett Atkins and Preston Wilson both hitting home runs. Garrett Atkins hitting a grand slam in the 8th off of Russ Springer with 2 outs. Jake Cave single back in the first. Swing and a miss to the fastball, 0-1. Good outing by the Rockies. Willie Taveras, future Rocky, a couple of years later. Led off for the Astros. He was 2 for 5. Craig Biggio, 3 for 4. Lance Berkman, 1 for 3. Morgan Ensberg, 1 for 4. He had 5 RBIs in that game. Jason Lane, Adam Everett, Chris Burke, Brad Osmus, and then Roger Clemens pitching for the Astros. So the Rockies win this game 2005 against the Astros 6-5. Brian Fuentes getting the save. David Cortez taking the win. Tough call there. Big bender there, but Taillon can't get the call at the bottom of the zone. 2-2. Top half of the inning, we'll maybe share a little bit more facts about Target Field and other things. Check swing. They said he went around. They'll throw on to first to confirm it, and that will end the inning. Taillon works around the walk. We hit at the top of the 4th. Rockies lead at 1-0. Story, McMahon, Owings due up for the Rockies. Here this afternoon on this beautiful Sunday here at Target Field, Rocky is looking to finish out the sweep of the Twins. Here as we're winding down June. Trevor Story lead things off. Strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Share a little facts here about Target Field. It's called strike there. On the slider. It's Target Field opened back in 2010. This one's sent out to left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases. Story hustling. He'll get into second, and it's a leadoff double for the Rockies shortstop. 15th double of the year for Story. Pitch down the middle of the plate. Story just turns on it, sends it into the gap. One hops the base of the wall. So there's a man in scoring position for Ryan McMahon, who flew out his last time. Pickoff attempt to second, but Story's back in easily. Araya is trying to do the backdoor play. McMahon fouls off the pitch inside, 0-1. The 1 to McMahon. Check swing, 1-1. Something unique about Target Field is all the handles on the exterior gates are in the shape of Minnesota. Bouncer in front of the mound. Hill will only have a play to first. They'll just get McMahon by half a step. In the meantime, Story moves up to third. There's a 1 away as Chris Owings will come in. Target Field known to be very environmentally friendly. It's only 8.5 acres large. It's the smallest in Major League Baseball, but it covers a total of 10.5 acres when looked at from above because of it extend over surrounding roadways. Owings turns on this one but fouls it off. 1-1. Here's the 1-2 to Owings. With the curveball again, trying to get him to chase. 2-2. I've always liked the Twins. I've always liked their design. I like what they're about. This is inside 3-2. They have quite a few legends in their history. Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, Kirby Puckett, Ken Urbeck. Fouls this one off. Joe Mauer, who's their most recent, was their longtime catcher, first baseman. Owings sends this one out to center field. Cave is there to make the catch. Story tagging. The throw comes in, but it's going to be well late and offline. And just like that, the Rockies take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. In the top of the fourth, excuse me. Elias Diaz, the batter now. Rich Hill at 68 pitches. Diaz a pop out back in the third. But the Twins have always just seemed like a classy team. And same if I feel like they're one of those teams where I never really pay attention to them. I don't know as much about them, but they seem like an American League team I could get behind. Here's the 0-1 to Diaz. Swinging a miss 0-2. I think partly because they're not kind of the big name teams that you always think about that have success. They have struggled for several years, but then the past couple of years they've got back into contention, had back-to-back playoff berths. Or it seems like 3 straight years of playoff berth. Here's the 1-2 to Diaz. This is down in the dirt, 2-2. That curveball hasn't really been working. This one's sent out to left, and a diving attempt by Rosario can't come up with it. It's kind of a sinking, knuckling line drive from Diaz off the end of the bat. And Rosario dives to the last second, can't come up with it, so that'll be a base hit for Diaz. So there's 2 outs, man at first for Yasiel Puig, who flew out back in the third. First pitch swing, he fouls it back, 0-1. Well, Puig, we last saw him last season with the Cincinnati Reds after getting traded from the Dodgers. Then traded to the Indians at the deadline. Then he's been sitting as a free agent since then. Doesn't make a note of it on there, but he did start 2019 with the Reds. Kind of an average year for him. Doesn't have as much power as he used to. Outside 1-2. Tyler Duffy warming up in the Twins bullpen. I think most notably for Puig, he was involved in that big scuffle with the Reds and the Pirates last season at the deadline. He had been traded during the game, got involved in that fight, and then he left and went to Cleveland. But Puig strikes out swinging. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Rockies add on a run. They lead 2-0.
Leading off for the Twins, the second baseman, Luis Arias.
So Luis Arias will lead things off for the Twins. Second baseman, base hit his last time, slapped one into left field. And he takes ball 1 on the outside corner. Signed out of Venezuela by the Twins. Here's the 1-0. Sends this one out to right field. Puig ranges over. He'll make the catch. 1 away. Rockies do have a couple of ties to the Twins. Probably their most notable ones. Some of their most notable ones. Called strike there, 0-1. One of my personal favorite players, Michael Kadire, was a longtime Twin. And then the Rockies signed him to that 3-year deal. Kadire then finishing out his career retiring with the Mets. Here's the 0-2 to Sano. Tied him up there with the fastball inside. Out number 2, third strikeout for Taillon, and he's making quick work of the Twins this afternoon. Bring him Nelson Cruz. Dangerous hitter here in Nelson Cruz. Here's the 0-1. Or he's 0-1. It's now 0-1. Michael Kadire, who had, I believe, a very good tenure with the Rockies. won a batting title. And then Justin Morneau, who was a long-time Twins first baseman. Rockies then signed him to play first base. Kind of had some comeback with the Rockies as Taillon strikes out Cruz to end the fourth. We're through 4. Rockies lead it 2-0. We head to the top of the 5th. Here at Target Field this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Twins, number 21,
Tyler Duffy pitching now for the Twins, hanging his 33rd appearance. It's 3-1, 2.34 ERA, 49 strikeouts, only 3 walks for the right-handed reliever. He'll face David Dahl to lead things off here in the top of the 5th. Called strike the knees, 0-1. Dahl with 4 triples. It's tied for 3rd in the National League. Here's the 0-1 to Dahl. Big swing and a miss there. 0-2 now. Well, like I said earlier, we are having baseball here in 2020. About a month, we're going to have the regular season started, and just in a little under a week, the Spring Training 2.0 is going to be starting. So we'll try and talk a little bit about those rule changes for the upcoming season. Here's the 0-2 to Dahl. Skied out to center field. Ranging back is Cave. He'll make the catch. There's out number 1 to start the 5th. Bring up Daniel Murphy, who's 2 for 2.
The first baseman, number 9, Daniel Murphy.
So the 3-batter minimum rule change that was supposed to start the season. This is a line shot to first, and O grabs it, and Murphy's quickly retired. So pitchers will still have to face 3 batters or pitch to the end of a half inning, the exceptions of injuries and illnesses. As Arnott will stand in, RBI double his last time up. But then here are some rule changes for the 2020 season. There'll be 60 games as their goal. Arnott, 19 doubles on the team. So there'll be a universal DH, first time for the National League ballparks. So both teams will have their DH to avoid overtaxing pitchers by having them hit. Called strike the letters, it's 1-2. Extra innings will start with a runner on second base. This happens in the minors quite a bit. As Arenado strikes out swinging and the Rockies go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Rockies still lead it 2-0. Tyler Duffy with a clean 1-2-3 inning. Pick up our thought here in a second. So we're here in the bottom of the 5th. Heidi Watney talking about something. So runners will start on second base for extra inning games. Designated runner would be the person who made the final out the last time players were up to bat, or a pinch runner. Rule will not be in place for the postseason. There will be no restrictions on position players pitching in 2020 because that was a rule change made this offseason that would require teams to designate every player on the active roster as either a pitcher or a position player. And then a position player would be unable to pitch unless it was extra innings or your team was up or down by 6 runs or were qualified as a two-way designated player. Suspended games, if weather forces a game to be cut short before it is official, it will be continued at a later date rather than started from scratch. And then there will be unsportsmanlike conduct. If you're not following protocols, if you get within 6 feet of umpires and other such things, you'll be subject to ejection. Then pitchers can carry a small wet rag, keep their fingers moist instead of licking them. As this one's shot into right field, or left field to beat the shift. So Eddie Rosario
Now batting, third baseman.
gets aboard for the Twins to start the fifth. Bring up Josh Donaldson, man aboard. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Rockies lead it 2-0. So those are some of just the little minor changes. Teams, and then the other thing was the roster rules. The teams will be able to pull from a 60-man player pool, 40-man rosters, and then a 20-man player pool. As this one shot into left field, back goes Owings, and he can't make the catch. Rosario will stop at second. Donaldson now has a 12-game hitting streak. That was a line shot into right field. Pitch cutting in. Donaldson just turns on it. I'm bringing up Jimmy Kerrigan. 2 men on, nobody out. Rockies lead 2-0. Kerrigan takes fastball down the middle. It looked like Owings was going to have a play on it, but it just sails over his head. He's able to quickly play it off the wall, so that deking of Rosario prevents men on the corners. As Kerrigan's now quickly down 0-2. The 0-2 bouncer to third, and Arenado can't play it. Took a weird hop off of his glove. That'll load the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. And Alex Avila will come up to the plate. Tying run at second. Steve Foster talking to Taillon. Not sure what happened there to Arenado. Looked like a routine double play ball. Gets ahead here 0-1. Beats it into the dirt and just took a bad hop at the last second, and Arenado couldn't stick with it. Here's the 0-1 to Avila. Bounces that one foul. 0-2. Well, now would be a really good time for Taillon to get a strikeout. Here's the 0-2. Misses it down and in, 1-2. Taillon in a bit of a jam here he's put himself in. Trying to move my microphone around. Here's the 1-2 to Avila. And this is backhanded by Arenado. The throw home. On to first. Double play. Heads up play there by Nolan Arenado with his momentum. Tough play here for Arenado. Chopper down the line, backhands, and his momentum carrying him away. He's able to throw a liner to first, and then Diaz able to complete on the backhand. Bouncer to first. Nice backhand there by Murphy. And that will retire the side. Taillon manages to get out of the bases loaded jam with nobody out. Gets the double play ball and the ground ball. We head to the top of the sixth. Rockies still lead at 2-0. As Charlie Blackmon will lead things off. Good inning for the Rockies defensively. Those are moments where we've seen things kind of just unravel, and Taillon able to pitch his way out of it, calm and composed, and making a pitch. That's something we've seen plague the Rockies in May and April, and a lot in this month. Called strike there. It's 1-1. But it's just refreshing to see the starting pitcher really bear down and get out of that situation. Here's the 1-1 to Blackmon.
count.
Just late on that fastball, 1-2. So that's nice to see. As Blackman lines this one into right field. That's through for a base hit, beating the shift. And he's aboard to lead the inning.
Now batting, Trevor Story.
So I'll bring up Trevor Story now. Story a double his last time up. Anyway, back to talking about the 2020 roster rules. So this kind of gets a little confusing, just the implementations of it. The best way to think about it is that it is a 60-man player pool. Really, you have a 20-player minor league system, is how it really works.
I got the count. 0-2.
So each team can establish a maximum 60-player pool. You don't have to fill it all. And it's due today on Sunday by 2 o'clock Mountain Time. So the Rockies have about half an hour to get that in.
The batter, number 24.
No other players will be permitted to participate in camp. Teams are permitted to operate 2 separate camps if they choose. There'll be an alternative training site. They prefer that it's within 100 miles of the big league club, so that may play into different college fields, maybe minor league stadiums. So for the Rockies, they could just stay in Denver or maybe head down the road to Colorado Springs and use the Rocky Mountain Vibes Stadium. 1-2 the count on McMahon. Players on the 40-man roster need not be included in the 60-man player pool. This one's hit out to left field. Back goes Rosario. He'll make the catch. Blackman has to retreat back to first, and there's 2 away.
Now batting,
Likewise,
Red.
pool players need not be on the 40-man roster unless and until they are added to the active MLB roster. So you still have your 40-man roster, and then the 60-player pool just includes 20 players who aren't on that 40-man roster. Line shot into center field. Owings squares that one up. Runners on first and second, 2 outs for Elias Diaz, the batter now. So they don't need to be on the 40-man roster until they are added to the big league roster. Then if a player is removed from a 60-man player pool, he can't be added back to that team's pool, but can be added to another team's pool. So players cannot be freely removed from the 60-man player pool without roster implications. So other than injured list placement, suspension, and other infrequent designations, teams will be forced to surrender or risk surrendering control over a player via trade, release, designated for assignment, outright, etc., to remove him from a 60-man player pool. Teams may otherwise add already controlled or newly acquired players to their 60-man player pool. They just have to make the required moves if there is no space. Players can be signed to the 60-man pool without being added to the 40-man roster, but it requires space. Basically, minor league deals. As Diaz strikes out, that'll retire the side. Rockies get a couple of men aboard, but nothing more. We head to the bottom of the 6th. They still lead it 2-0. Tyler Duffy threw 2 clean innings. So we're in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Cave will lead things off for the Twins. Back to talking about the MLB roster. The active roster will consist of 30 players. This one's sent out to deep right field. Puig will have to play it off the wall. Cave will stride into second with the leadoff double. Just missing a home run. Thankfully, that big wall in right field here at Target Field prevents the home run. That's gone in a lot of other parks. So man at second for Luis Arias, who's 1 for 2. Misses ball 1. So the roster will consist of up to 30 players, at least 25, at the start of the season. After 2 weeks of play, the number goes down to 28. After 2 more weeks, it drops to 26, with the 27th player available for doubleheaders. So eventually, within a month, the roster will go down to 26. Teams will travel with an unofficial 3-man taxi squad, the identity of which need not be disclosed. One player must be a catcher. So you could carry maybe an extra pitcher, extra fielder. There's no official designation or roster status associated with being a member of that group, since fouled away 1 and 2. Player must be on the 40-man roster in order to be added to the active MLB roster. Just the 1-2. This one's sent out to left, sinking, and that's going to play off the bounce. That all goes a base hit. Owings had a chance, but instead must have not have gotten a good enough jump, and Arias is able to sneak that one in there. Thought he had a chance. So now there's men on the corners. Nobody out for Miguel Sano, who's 0 for 2. Rockies will surrender the run for the double play. This gets ahead here 0-1. So once a player is placed on the active roster, standard rules apply. Players eligible to be optioned can be sent back to camp just as if it were a minor league affiliate. Bouncer to second, and it's through for a base hit. 1 run scores, and just like that, 3 straight hits for the Twins to start this inning. They now trail by 1 with Nelson Cruz coming up to the plate with 2 men aboard. They trail by 1. James Pazos and Scott Oberg warming up in the Rockies bullpen. Here's the first pitch to Cruz. He's 0 for 2. Called strike at the letters, 0-1. An option player must stay on optional assignments for 10 days unless called back because of an injury. Players who are not eligible to be optioned must be designated for assignment and then traded or exposed outright waivers to be removed from the active roster. The trade deadline is now August 31st, and only players in the 60-man player pool may be traded. Any player that is traded must go into an acquiring team's player pool. So as a practical matter, it seems there's nothing to stop teams from adding prospects to the 60-man player pool just to trade them. This one's fouled away. So this almost seems like it's a nail in the coffin of minor league baseball for the season, which I think everybody was already expecting. Where basically you're running a 30-man minor league camp that will then expand into like 35, 40-man, a 35-man minor league camp that then can be pulled from throughout the season. So you're just operating with one minor league team, basically, and you can also create multiple camps as needed. I think he was saying you could have 2 camps, kind of continue to keep players separated in different levels. So it's kind of interesting. It seems like it's the nail in the coffin for minor league baseball this season. Short season teams who should already be underway aren't happening, most likely. This one's lined into left field, a base hit. The throw home from Owings. The tag, not in time. Arias scores and 4 straight hits, and the Twins have tied this ball game at 2 here in the 6th. Owings got the ball there in time, but Diaz slow in applying the tag. And that's going to do it for Jameson Taillon. Had 5 strong innings. 5 strong innings, but now he leaves with this game tied at 2 with 2 men aboard, nobody out. Giving up 4 straight hits. here in the 6th.
Your attention, please.
Working against the Almonte.
Rockies. Number 62.
Making his 19th appearance. He's 3-4, 40 innings of work, 3.83 ERA, 26 strikeouts, 10 walks. He'll face Eddie Rosario. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Rosario, misses high, ball 1. This is going to be stressful. Bottom of the 6th. The Rockies tied at 2 now. Davidson Tyone just sort of unravels here in the 6th. Can't get any of the Twins out. Isn't fooling them. And this one's into right field. Puig makes the catch. Round number 1. So finally they get the first out of the inning. Not in the woods yet. Josh Donaldson. Single back in the 5th. 2-men aboard, 1 out. Almonte's still got a lot of work to do. And this is down and away, 1-0. He's got 85 hits. That's second on the Twins. And you know your team's hitting well when Josh Donaldson is hitting 7th in your lineup. This one's sent out to deep center field. Back goes Dahl to the wall, and this one's gone. 3-run homer for Josh Donaldson. And the Twins have put up 5 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. And just like that, the Rockies are losing once again. That has just got to be frustrating. Rockies were doing so well up until this point. Had 2-0 lead and then 5 straight hits almost. 4 straight hits, and then they get the out. And then Josh Donaldson hits it to deep center field off of Almonte. And the Rockies are now down by 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Jimmy Kerrigan stands in. He's 1 for 2. Almost makes it hard to watch. Here's the first pitch to Kerrigan. Called strike the letters, 0-1.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Here's the 1-1 to Kerrigan. Big swing and a miss there. It's 1-2. The 1-2 to Kerrigan. Fouls that one off. 1-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count, 3-2.
3-2 the count now on Kerrigan. Alex Avila waits on deck. Rockies trailing 5-2. Rockies will have a lot of work to do. So they now have 9 outs to work with. 8 pitches so far this at bat to Kerrigan. Swing and a miss. Almonte wins this battle.
Up next for the Twins, the catcher, Alex Avila.
So I'll bring up Alex Avila. 2 outs, nobody on. Avila 0 for 1. Takes called strike 1. So the big kind of conversation is with the 60-game season, 60-game stretch, that's going to be total of the season. A lot of people are thinking about what will that do for a lot of teams. Teams like the Rockies. What's kind of going to be their best 60-game stretch? One's run report where it says they have their chances double. Well, the Twins put up 5 here in the bottom of the 6th, capped off by Donaldson's 3-run homer, his 28th of the year. We head to the 7th. Rockies trail 5-2 now.
Your attention,
Jamison Tyon
now pitching for the Twins.
on the hook for this one.
Number 61, Cody Stashak.
Cody Stashak pitching for the Twins, making his 12th appearance. He's 2-1, .93 ERA. He'll face off against Yasiel Puig. Will lead things off. Puig 0 for 2 in his Rockies debut here this afternoon. Fouls this one off. Rockies' best 60-game stretch came in 2009 at 40. They went 42-18. Here's the 0-1 to Puig. Soft fly ball into right field, but right at Kerrigan, who makes the catch, and Puig's retired.
Now batting, the center fielder, David Dahl.
So the best 60-game stretch in franchise history came in 2009 when Tulowitzki, Helton, and Ubaldo led them to the postseason for the second time in 3 years. From June 4th to August 10th, this popped up foul territory. Over is Sano by the dugouts. He'll make the catch. There's out number 2. Rockies won 42 of 60 games, catapulting them from a 20-32 record to a 62-50 mark. They won the wild card spot and then lost to the Phillies in a 4-game division series. First pitch to Murphy, misses inside, ball 1. So some teams may have a chance. Their best 2019 stretch was 37-23 from April to June, and then the team just sort of unraveled after that. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. I think a lot of teams will have a little bit better chance of getting to the postseason this year. But that brings up a lot of concerns and the conversations and debates of how legitimate will the champion be this season? Will we be taken seriously, or will there be a huge asterisk on them? Taylor Rogers, Tyler Clippard warmed up in the Twins bullpen. Because 60 games plus a postseason is a lot different than 162 games and a postseason. Here's the 1-2 to Murphy. Now runs in and hits him, so well, you take what you can get. Murphy will trot down to first after getting plunked by the curveball. I'm bringing up Nolan Arenado. 2 outs. Arenado has 3 doubles in this series, and that's been his 3 hits. It's 3 for 12, 2 RBIs this series. He's got a man at first with 2 outs here in the top 7th. Rockies trail 5-2. And this is low, ball 1. Though the thing with baseball is, sometimes your record really doesn't mean anything at the end of the year. It just kind of helps seed you in the playoffs. But really it comes down to the most exciting baseball was in August and September and then into October. And really it's about who can get hot at the right time. So 2007, we think of the Rockies, got hot end of September, cruised to the World Series. Then they lost that momentum. As Arenado pops this one up, and Sano makes the catch, and that retires the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join.
We're to the bottom of the 7th. Rockies trail 5-2. Top of the order due up for the Twins.
Ladies and gentlemen,
James Pazos will stand in for the Rockies now on the mound. In 39th appearance, he's 1-2, 2.60 ERA, 34 2/3 innings of work, 35 strikeouts, 11 walks. He will face Jorge Polanco. He will flip over to the right side part of the plate. He'll lead things off for the Twins. Called strike in the outside corner. It's 0-1. So it'll be interesting to see. Really, like I was saying, popped up foul territory. Diaz is there to make the catch. It's all about who gets hot at the right time. The Nationals last year really had no reason to make it to the World Series and win it. The teams they went up against, but then they just kept knocking down their opponents. And they got hot at the right time, and they cruised through to the World Series and managed to eke out that win. See it time and time again, so I think that's the legitimacy of a 60-game season as Cave sends this one out to deep right field. Back goes Puig, just shy of the warning track. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So Luis Arias will stand in now. It's 2 for 3. Pair of singles to his credit. Here's the first pitch to Arias. Called strike of the knees, 0-1. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be a little bit tighter. Interesting to see what happens. Grounder to second. McMahon's got it. He'll throw on to first. And that'll end the inning. Twins go down 1-2-3. Clean inning for James Pazos. We head to the 8th. Rockies down by 3. Heart of the order due up for them here at Target Field this Sunday afternoon.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Twins.
Trevor May takes over on the mound for the Twins. Made his 25th appearance. He's 1-1, 4.50 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 7 walks. He'll face Blackman, Story, and then McMahon.
The designated hitter, Charlie Blackman.
Rockies looking to get hot right now. They scored a pair of runs earlier in the game.
1-0.
21.5 thousand fans here at Target Field here in Minneapolis. Called strike of the knee. 1-1. But I think a 60-game season will make it a little tighter. And I think make every game count a little bit more. And hopefully it kind of causes some teams, maybe managers of teams, to really reassess some players that are underperforming. No, you can't kind of sit and wait to see if they can work out of it. Kind of the culprits of this have been the Rockies. Guys like Ian Desmond, where they said like, "Oh, we'll just let him work through. We got to put him out in the lineup. He'll get through it." And they throw him out there, and he was just not doing anything, kind of slumping over the course of a whole entire season. And when you only have 60 games to win, you know, you got to throw out the best possible team every single day. And if somebody's struggling, got to get them out of there. And this is a line shot to first. Sano snags it out of the air. He's been busy over there. There's out number 1. Blackman will try back to the dugout, and they'll bring up Trevor Story. 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. Watches a called strike 1. So you have Trevor May now, then you face Taylor Rogers in the 9th, most likely. Story fouls that one off, 0-2. Battle of the Trevors. Check swing, he holds off, 1-2. So I'll be interested to kind of watch a 60-game season. How will that play out? You know, how are the Rockies going to fare? I think if you cut, they're usually good for about 2 months. As Story chases that curveball for his 2nd strikeout of the game. 2 outs. They'll bring him Ryan McMahon. Well, after that home run by Donaldson, this team's just deflated. McMahon swings to that one, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to McMahon. Big swing and a miss there, 0-2. See if the Rockies just throw Pazos out there for the next inning. Here's the 0-2 to McMahon. Big swing and a miss, and he strikes out for round number 3. Rockies go down 1-2-3. Wait at the bottom of the 8th. Twins lead at 5-2.
Your attention, please.
Scott Oberg gets the call here from the bullpen. I think his 23rd appearance. He's 1-4. 5.59 ERA in 19 and 30 innings of work. 17 strikeouts, 13 walks. It's done well since his call back up from Albuquerque. He'll face Miguel Sano, Nelson Cruz, and then Eddie Rosario. And here's the first pitch to Sano. Misses ball 1. Oberg struggled early part of the season. Nice to see him back in there. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Sano. This is outside 2-1. Kind of talking about the 2020 season. I think another thing that's interesting is the lineups of how it's going to work divisionally. This one's fouled away. Where you're going to have, I think, 40 games against your division opponents. So that means 10 games against the Dodgers, 10 against the Giants, 10 against the Diamondbacks, 10 against the Padres. That one's outside. Got him swinging, so now number 1 for Oberg here. Got him to chase the fastball up and away. So I'm bringing Nelson Cruz with the 1 away. Rockies trail 5-2. But then you have about, I think, 20 games between your counterpart, your geographical counterpart with the American League for interleague play. Not quite sure what that schedule looks like. They haven't really released it yet. But I would want to say, well, actually, I'm not sure how that'll work. If it's geographical, so would we go up against Texas, or who's going up against Seattle? So a lot of questions to be answered, because naturally you'd have Oakland, Giants, Angels, Dodgers. Then I don't know where the Padres and the Diamondbacks go, but a lot of questions to figure out. They'll get that figured out. There's why there's people that do that, not me. Here's a 3-1 to Cruz. Called strike there, 3-2. Or would you, I guess you go play games against the rest of the counterparts, so then you'd go up against all those teams in the American League Central or American League West. Cruz takes ball 4. He'll trot down to first. 1 away, bottom of the 8th. Eddie Rosario, the left fielder, stands in. 1 for 3 in this one. Rockies will have Owings, Diaz, and Puig in the top of the 9th. A lot of work to do. Not an easy order, but the Rockies hopefully could maybe eke it out. Here's the 1-0 to Rosario. And this is inside 2-0. Well, we saw Tyone really struggle back in the 5th when he got out of that bases loaded jam. Runner takes out for second. Swinging is Rosario. He fouls it off. 2-1. And this one is crushed to right field. And this one's long gone. 2-run homer for Eddie Rosario. His 18th homer of the year. And the Twins now have a 5-run lead. 7-2 Twins. Kind of speed up the process there. Made the mistake there and pitched down the middle, and Rosario just crushes it. So 1 out, Josh Donaldson. 3-run homer back in the 6th. Was really the nail in the Rockies' coffin. Oberg's now just trying to get through this game.
Nope. Ball 1.
There's the 1-1 to Donaldson. Swing and a miss there. It's 1-2. Fouls this one off into the dugout. Donaldson lays off, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one back, 2-2 still.
Count is 3-2.
Full count now on Josh Donaldson. Kerrigan waits on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Oberg is kind of laboring at this point. 23 pitches this inning. He's got him. Fastball up and in for out number 2.
Now batting. The right fielder.
For James Kerrigan.
Kerrigan.
So Kerrigan will come in. Jimmy Kerrigan. It's 1 for 3. Single back in the 5th.
Ball. That's out.
I believe the Rockies have the day off tomorrow. We'll be going up against the Pirates soon. Here's the 1-1 Kerrigan. Lifts this one out to center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Puig cuts it off. He'll throw it back in. So from here, the Rockies will go to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates in Pittsburgh. I believe for a 3-game series. That's how they'll end out June. With a 3-game series. 3-game series in Pittsburgh. And then they'll have the day off Thursday and head back home to take for a homestand of 3-3 against the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Before then heading out to Milwaukee to face the Brewers before the All-Star break. Throw over to first, and they got him! Oberg picks off Kerrigan to end the inning, but Eddie Rosario adds on a pair of runs off this 2-run homer. We head to the top of the 9th. Rockies need a miracle. They need to score 5 to tie it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They will be facing Tyler Clippard. In his 21st appearance, he's 0-1, 2.14 ERA, 21 innings of work, 22 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's had a very successful year so far. And there's a reason the Twins have the record that they do. Chris Owings leads things off. RBI single in this one. Pitch Pitch called on the outside corner, 0-1. Rockies will have Owings, Diaz, and then Puig. And then if anything further than that, top of the order. 0-2 the count on Owings. Clippard winds and deals. And a line shot over to second. Arias has got it. He'll throw on to first. Out number 1. As Owings is retired. Hard hit grounder, but unfortunately right at the second baseman. I'll bring up the catcher. Diaz is 1 for 3. Single back in the 4th inning. Still with a month to go until the trade deadline in here. We're still figuring out here on the Sideline crowd. Now, what will we do is this is a slow roller to first, 2 away. When games do come back with the regular season, we may either keep these going in a way, in a different form. We're working on some other content, bringing back a podcast, maybe some other video series. Working on a lot of things to figure out how we can keep things going. Here's the regular season is coming back and have more than just these little broadcasts. So these things may not be as popular to watch or as easy to watch. There's the 0-1 Puig. Big swing and miss there. 0-2. Rockies down to their final strike. But we'll figure things out. The 0-2 to Puig. Lays off 1-2. Puig making his debut with the Rockies today. In right field. Here's the 1-2 to Puig. Swing and a miss. And that will end the game. Twins win this one 7-2. As the Rockies unravel in the 6th inning onward. So the Twins win this 7-2. Tyler Duffy gets the win. Jameson Taillon takes the loss, gives up 4 runs in 5 innings on 9 hits. Josh Stallman, the player of the game, 2 for 4, home run, 3 RBIs. Notables for the Rockies: Arenado 1 for 4 with an RBI double, Murphy 2 for 3, Dahl 0 for 3, and Story 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Rockies only scored a run in the 3rd and the 4th, and that's all they managed to muster. Twins score 5 in the bottom of the 6th, and then 2 more in the 8th. Notables for the Twins: Rosario with a 2-run homer, Jake Cave 2 for 4 with a double, and Nelson Cruz with an RBI and 2 runs scored. So that'll do it here for this game this afternoon. Rockies can't pull off the sweep of the Twins, as they will now head to Pittsburgh. Figure things out once again. So that'll do it here for me, Skylar Timmons, here on the Sideline Crowd. Stay tuned on our YouTube channel and our Facebook for some things that are coming up. Hopefully you'll like them. Hopefully I like them as well. But thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Sideline Crowd. Thanks for watching.